My name is Max Stein, and I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone else with a brain, for that matter. Hello, dear viewer and listener, and hello, my new camera that's freaking the fuck out every time I move my body. We have a wonderful show for you today.
It's a Spotify video podcast, by the way.
Enjoy.
We are giving you, the listener, something that you don't get anymore. Gather around, children. When we were children, magazines and sometimes other video games used to have these things called demo discs. Ooh, and they would be jam-packed with sometimes up to half a dozen different demos for games that you were excited to play for the PlayStation. Today, we're doing a hot Steam demo disc for you because we all played games that have not come out yet but have demos on Steam. So we will be enjoying that later. But before we do, we will go ahead and kick off our episode correctly by having the Megabuck and RetroGameTreasure.com take us back in time with this week's Retro Zone game. Buck?
Let's go back in time.
He's evolving. He's begun pantomiming.
Yeah.
So now I definitely know what he was doing. He was driving a car.
I told you it was a Spotify video podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it almost felt like you were driving a DeLorean going back in time, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but they suck, so I'm not going to bring them as gems.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Fuck the DeLorean then.
Nope.
Okay.
Today, it is a racing game. It's actually a phenomenal racing game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. With its beautiful isometric view and, believe it or not, early vehicular combat. I'm talking about RC Pro-Am.
Okay.
Very, very good game.
We talked about this one before, right? Yeah, I think.
My fingers covering it. Who made RC Pro-Am for the Nintendo?
Is it Acclaim? No. Midway? No. Is this something crazy like Capcom?
Yeah, I really would have thought Midway, actually.
What is it?
It's Rare.
Oh, okay. That was going to be my 100th guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Rare, known for their racing games.
I don't think we've talked about RC Pro-Am before.
I have talked about the fact that David Wise did soundtrack to this game. Same guy did
that's where I heard
Kong,
the name.
Yeah. And a lot of other stuff.
Really? And Marble Madness.
The triplets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Phenomenal soundtrack for a racing game.
Yes. This game kind of looks like Marble Madness. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I'm looking at it right now.
It's because of the isometric view, I bet.
I guess that's what I am seeing.
Yeah,
probably.
It's definitely isometric view. And so it was early. I mean, before there was Twisted Metal and before there was Wipeout, RC Pro-Am, you had some rockets you could fire at the other players. There were oil slicks and other things on the track to mess you up.
We have talked about Iron Man. Well, God, I forget the name of this fucking game every time.
Ivan Stewart, Iron Man and Thor go on off-road.
God damn it, when you said Thor, it fucked me up. Iron Man Ivan Stewart's Iron Man Ivan Stewart's off-road adventure? Now I forgot the last word in the thing.
I'm having a stroke right now, I think, because I'm very confused.
This is an arcade game that controls very much like this control-wise. It has a more pulled-back angle.
I see, okay.
Obviously, this is for the Nintendo.
Yeah, great game. I mean, it really feels like it inspired Super Off-Road and Rock and Roll Racing, maybe even Mario Kart with the weapons in it.
Oh, because of the combat while racing.
Sure, it's got a little bit of that in there, too.
I just
love
computer. How cute and toyetic the little cars are.
Yeah, they're like RC cars.
Yeah.
RC Pro-Am.
Yeah, fun
I don't
game.
I don't see the connection.
This is just
I don't get it.
This is just a straight up racing game for your Nintendo. Yes,
pretty much.
Is this you put combat? Is this how do when you what you call
vehicular combat?
When you put the categories on this game as far as RetroGameTreasure.com. Is it just a racing game, or is there any? Yeah, no arcadey, maybe no nothing. Game. Okay, so if you haven't played RC Pro-Am and you have a Nintendo, you got to add this to your collection, dude. This is a good ass game. Go now to RetroGameTreasure.com. Let Buck know that you have a Nintendo. and that you like racing games, and I know you're putting yourself at risk there, but there's a chance that you can get RC Pro Am, which is a fun racing game, which I suppose it would be more in that category than Bucks. What do you call the other racing? Sim racing?
Oh no, we have sports because we don't.
Oh,
really,
right, yes.
We have fun sports as a separate category. Very few people choose the simulation sports. So.
Okay. Go now to retrogametreasure.com. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about some cool demos that we played. See you on the other side. My off-road Iron Men. Are you ready? Are you ready to relax? Because it's time. So go ahead and cue that music. And then we'll put the steam on. Okay. Yeah. We're sitting in our racing-inspired PC chairs for whatever reason. We're kicking back with our very expensive computers to play games that are very inexpensive, that are sometimes more fun than games that cost $50. That's right, we're jumping on Steam, Valve's gaming platform. This week, there's not a lot of new hotness going on in Steam, I'm not going to lie to you. So we had to actually look into the future to find games that were worth talking about. I'm going to go first with my hot Steam. Peek behind the curtain, Wicked 2. This recording got a little bit delayed because I played one game and I was like, yeah, this is, but then I'm so glad I did because I ended up playing a really cool game that I think would be perfect for Raph. Raph, I want you to YouTube this right now.
Hey, I'm excited for this.
A game called Wasteland Bites.
I already love the name.
I thought you were going to say you know about it. So this game reminds me of Overcooked mixed with Five Nights at Freddy's.
What the fuck am I looking at? What is this?
Oh, it's a food truck.
Yes. So you're a guy who owns a food truck in the wasteland, in like the post-apocalypse wasteland, and all the customers are monster guys. And it's like a work sim thing where you're running the food truck, but there's a bunch of crazy shit that you have to do in the wasteland to survive.
This is incredible.
This demo was super fun. So it's you know what it reminded me of? I wanted to mention that game I'm Not Human that we both played this past October, Raph.
It's
does like that
yes.
as well, where in the sense, because I said Five Nights at Freddy's and Overcooked, but neither of those games have this aspect, which that game I'm Not Human has, which is they give you a long laundry list of things to remember. Like how in that game, it's like you got to remember if they have red eyes. Okay, now you have to remember if they have red eyes or if their teeth are yellow. Now you have to remember if they're blah 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 blah. So it's like
papers, please. Where
yes,
right, exactly. Yeah,
yes.
much,
so you're cooking food. That's one aspect, and giving it to the customers. They'll be like, I want a raw cucumber in a bowl, and you'll have to turn around and grab a cucumber and put it in a bowl. Turn back around and give it to him. Make money. And then that's how you progress the game. But here's some of the other shit you have to do. Some of the other enemies and customers too. Like, so there's a bunch of dogs that appear over time. As you look to the front of the truck, you'll be able to see how many dogs are there. When 3 dogs get in front, they start barking. And when they start barking, you have to honk the horn to scare them away. Otherwise, you'll slowly build stress over time. And if your stress gets to 100, you die.
Perfect.
And so that's one of the things. You have the glowers, which are these all white, like zombie guys that when they get too close to the food truck, you have to close the shutter doors or else they'll start banging on the food truck and stress you out.
That's fun.
There's a UFO that comes that when the UFO comes, you have to turn off all the lights in the truck. There's a guy named the Hat Man who you can only see in the light. There's a guy named the Corn Man who has a giant ear of corn. And he will, when he appears, music will play. And if you don't look at him for long enough, he'll kill you. So you'll be like doing stuff and looking with the, and then you hear like boom, 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 and you turn around and it's the corn man like, and he just slowly slinks in the way. Get out of here, corn man.
Incredible, dude. I love this.
The poltergeist who hates lights. You got the bear. A bear will sneak into your truck, and when he's in there, don't look at him. It's the opposite. Don't look at him at all, or he'll kill you. The fog smiler is the spooky ghost that you got to flash your flashlight at. Otherwise, he keeps turning the power in your van off and on like constantly, and so none of the equipment will work. Yeah, dude, I've got a couple more here, but yes. The hangman is a character that will show up if you lure too long at the counter. Like if you just sit at the counter for too long instead of turning around and working, and a guy will kill you. There's a character who's a clown who will walk up to the thing, like to the cash register, and you have to honk his nose. If you don't, he'll kill you. And then the last one is a guy called Gully Bonnie, and it's like this wispy ass old man ghost, and when he comes on the screen, you can't move your mouse. You have to stop moving your mouse entirely, or he'll kill you. So all of that shit on top of these like the normal shit that you'd see in like Overcooked. So like there'll be there's shish kebabs you can make, bowls you can make, and then like raw food that people will ask for. There's all these rats that appear all over your truck, and you have to click on them to like get them off ingredients. And if you don't, more will show up, and eventually like big fat rats will come, and you have to click them 4 times to get them to get off like the shit. And it's just like, dude,
you sound like you played the crap out of this demo.
It all happens. So I maybe played it for like an hour and a half, because what you end up having to do is you get 2 shifts, one during the day and one at night. So the one at night, when you have to turn the food truck lights off for stuff like the UFO and some of the other characters, you can't see shit, and it gets pretty scary. But you have to collect enough money to gas up your food truck to drive it to the next location. And there will be multiple locations to pick from, and they will tell you ahead of time like how hard they are and how much like the potential earnings will be, and how much gas it costs to get there.
Interesting.
So you have to play the first level, like at least I did, because I kept fucking it up. You have to play it like 2 or 3 times, like at least twice for me, to get to the next area. I forgot one fun mechanic, which is some of the customers aren't customers. If they have red eyes and scratches all over their bodies, they're actually like feral monsters, and you just pick up a shotgun and shoot them in the face.
I saw the shotgun on the counter.
Awesome every time.
You know, this reminds me of that game I played on stream, Shift at Midnight. Very similar. Yeah.
Yes. Wasteland Bites. Go check it out on Steam. It didn't have a release date, but the demo's on there. It's super indie. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
Very cool.
Buck, your hot Steam is one that I also played, and I can't wait to talk about because it wasn't a very long demo, but it was very cool.
Yeah, I've got 2 that I actually played.
Oh, okay. I wanted the Capcom one.
You want to talk about that one first? Pragmata.
Yeah, dude. We finally got to touch it.
Both played. It's the sketchbook demo. Which had a little exposition at the beginning, which was nice because I'd seen some of the trailers, but right away, basically, they're like, hey, that little girl, she's an android. I'm like, okay, I like this already more. You're not just going to be escorting a little girl around a space station.
Yeah.
And so it felt and reminded me a lot of like Lost Planet. The way that the controls are with the character, somewhere between very fluid and very clunky on purpose, which is a good thing. Like the gunplay's a little bit slow because its main gimmick that they introduced you to was switching between different weapons on the fly and switching between and using hacking with the little android girl at the same time.
Raph, you should play this demo. It might bust your PC, but you should try. Beautiful. You should try because. Explain the hacking thing. This is so very cool. So
I
love
the little android girl hangs out like on your back, like piggyback, and
you are. By the way, pause.
Yeah.
You play as the mascot character for Hideo Kojima's company.
Basically,
I swear to God, it looks just like this thing. Yes.
Outfit looks wild. Yeah,
it's cool looking. It's really fucking cool. It's some Capcom ass shit.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yes.
So what happens basically is when you're aiming down the sight of like a gun. Okay. Instead of just, you can do that, but instead of just having to do that when you hit like the other, like a left bumper or something like that, left L1, it also in that same view pops up like a little mini game for the Android. So think of like a grid of like 10 squares, like 5x5 or something. Okay. And it'll start you up in a corner, and you can move your cursor through all of the squares. And there's things to almost pick up. I say in air quotes, because there's certain things that you hit to be able to get to the end, and there's certain ones that are weaknesses and other things to that Android. So it's almost like you're hacking them a la like a cyberpunk or something, but you're doing this in like pseudo real time.
That's
while
very
you're
cool.
Going to shoot at them. So you move along that thing.
You use the
hit the
face
weakness.
buttons. So it's like you aim
D-pad.
down sights, obviously with left trigger, and when you point at something, it brings it up automatically, and then you use the face buttons to do the puzzle itself.
You don't use the D-pad on the puzzle. You use YBXA or whatever, triangle, square. And all of the puzzles with her pretty much do that as well. There's like locked doors, and it has you hitting those like from outer to inner, like a little bit of a puzzle. But the interesting way of using it in the middle of combat, and basically what it does, it weakens enemies, or it
I was about to say it makes them slow, it like stuns them, and it opens up like an exposed part of their body for you to then use the right trigger. You're already aiming down sights with the left trigger after you've just completed the puzzle to begin shooting at it.
So while it's not a survival horror like Dead Space, it made me feel a lot like that, where it was
the tension,
like closed spaces. Lots of robots, though. Like, you fight a boss in the demo, and it's a giant freaking robot. And, of course, you're having to, like, dodge these missiles it's shooting, and you're having to hack it and do other things.
Can I say that the maneuvering in this game feels good?
It really does. It really does.
I haven't seen Capcom make a third-person shooter in too long. Because when I was playing this, I was like, they're good at this. Yeah. Like, this is... You are a spaceman guy, and you've got like a little jet boost that you can do with B, like a little dash thing. Mm-hmm. But also, when you're exploring the level and there's like platforming shit going on, he can do like a little jump hover situation. And I don't know about you, but I found the fun like puzzle platforming sections to be very satisfying. Where you got like jump, hover over a laser, jump, go under a laser, jump, go hover. Yeah.
I didn't find that boring. I thought that was kind of exciting. And the gunplay wasn't like tons of overplayed Call of Duty style get behind a barricade and shoot 30 robots. It was like you're in a room with 2 robots. You know what I mean? And you're having to maneuver.
Yeah, because you're, like you said, clunky.
One. You switch between guns. You have like a pistol and like a burst gun and like a stunning gun and other things. And did you play it a second time and unlock the extra weapons and items?
I did. I unlocked the weapons. I didn't play the second time. Did you?
Cool. No, but it lets you know too if you play through it again. It gives you more context.
I mean, to double down on what Buck just said, like when he says there's a stun gun, what it really does, it's a gun that when you shoot it, wherever it hits, it makes this giant sphere of like electricity, like bubble, and any enemies that walk into the bubble become stunned.
Oh, sick.
And so there's like a little meta game in like, all right, 2 small guys are coming at me. I'm going to shoot the bubble right in between them. Mm-hmm. And then while they're stuck, I'm going to hack them. Now I'm going to switch to this thing that's just straight up a shotgun and just blast them. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Like you just said, Capcom doesn't make enough third-person whatever shooters that they
make, so. Like I was like, am I just being biased about this feeling like Lost Planet because it's the last Capcom made third-person shooter, or does it actually feel like Lost Planet? And I never found out the answer. But fun game, fun game. I would like. We'll see what the price tag is like. Yeah, if that game was $39.99.
No, I'm sure it's a triple. I'm sure they're gonna charge.
You think? Yeah, because Capcom.
Yeah, it's Capcom.
Well, we'll see.
Street Fighter, it's fine.
You know,
then the other game that go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I checked, and I'm pretty sure I probably can run this game.
Yeah. It's so arcadey and fun. I love the Capcom is so the guns will be like scattered about the ground because like as far as Buck was like saying, like you'll be like 2 robots in there, and there'll be a bunch of guns on the ground, and they're glowing, and they're color coordinated based off what kind of. And I was just like, Capcom is just. They're the best, man. They're so good at making fun, colorful video games because the storyline also there's like cute little banter between the girl cyborg and the grown man astronaut character. Like they're like talking back, like she doesn't understand everything, but she's impervious. It's cute. It's cute.
Raph, I'm sure that you can play it on the PS5. I'm sure there's.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's very much so a controller kind of shooter.
Yeah.
Because of the hacking, you can't use it.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could, but
it'd be difficult.
Control.
Nice.
So the other game that I played is not someone that's brand new. I think it's earlier this year, and that's called The the horror at High Rook, made by a small developer called Null Pointer Games. It's only the second game that they've done before. It came out earlier this year. So when I saw this game on the surface, Mac, I saw Darkest Dungeon style art, right? Like the art style is very Darkest Dungeon. And in the screenshots, I was like, oh my God, is this a deck builder with rooms? That's what it kind of looks like. It's not what it is, though. What it is it's like it's a party-based kind of exploration or mystery game. I think it's a little Lovecraftian. There was definitely some Cthulhu stuff going on in there. So basically what they do is, it was very confusing when you first started up, like until the mechanics started to make sense. I was like, I don't know, what the fuck am I doing here? The demo is not directing me enough. What they basically do is they're giving you cards that represent your 4 explorers, your 4 team members that are in this mansion. You have access to a certain amount of rooms in the mansion. Each of the rooms has an attribute attached to them and the cards you play in them. So what I mean by that is like a little icon for a cook pot, and that's an item card that you'd use in the kitchen, right? Or a little item for the little potion bottle, and that's an item you'd use in the laboratory. All the character cards have different stats with those icons next to them, telling you this guy can do cooking, this guy doesn't have the icon, this guy can't do cooking, right? So what you do with those is they give you certain cards. You send those characters to the rooms to complete tasks, which take real time. They might take like 3, 4, 5 seconds to complete. And as they complete the tasks, it keeps giving you new cards to slowly unlock all the pieces to the puzzle. Okay, now take this over to here and do this. You unlock bonuses to be able to do these like skill challenges. Like, oh, you need plus 2 potion bottle. Well, I only have one guy that can do potion bottle. So you need a little bonus card to play in that room with that one. And as you're slowly unlocking them and doing activities, your characters can be in other rooms exploring and searching, looking for basic items. Things like if you're in the front yard area, like you can use the shovel and you can be digging things up. Or if you're in the observatory, you can have the telescope and you can be looking for and finding things. So you have the characters spread around doing these different activities. All kinds of crazy, like cool Cthulhu stuff happens, like ghosts popping up and moving from room to room, because you have to watch stats on all of your characters, like stress level. If you make them do too many tasks, their stress gets too high. Their sanity, if things like ghosts and monsters find them and make them nervous. Or they even get hungry, and you have to periodically find things in the kitchen, then move it all to the dining room, and then serve a meal to all the characters so their hunger level goes down. You even have to have them take like naps and go to sleep. You're there for days, basically, where they're exploring like this missing family that went missing from this mansion that you're in. And so you slowly unlock all these different puzzle pieces on like a little board below where you can keep all your extra cards. And as you find all the pieces to the puzzle, you can unlock like the end of the chapter, the end of that demo. But there's more chapters that unlocks more rooms. So it ends up being a bunch of activities going on at once that you're kind of having to keep an eye on. And, oh, this room's full of poison gas right now, so for the next 30 seconds I can't go there. Go do some other activities. Or I'm missing all the stuff I need, so I need to go send a couple people to search until I find the next item that I'm looking for. It was very interesting.
This looks awesome.
Yeah, this looks really cool. Very board game.
Very much my shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be on the surface. And it literally, like, it's not a deck builder. It's an exploration game done with cards.
I love cards.
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking sucker for cards. You put cards in a game and I'm fucking there.
I figured you'd check that out too. But it's
funny.
It's a very different way to do it.
I love it. Horror at High Rook.
Cool.
Excellent. Go check that demo out. Ref, what demo do you have for us?
Well, you guys know me. I got one demo. Okay, I did play another game, but it was it wasn't a demo.
I've got some other, yeah.
But you know me, guys. I love first-person dungeon crawlers. I love games that invoke a sort of a mysterious feeling, a la King's Field or Dark Souls. I got one for you, and this one's pretty cool. It's pretty run-of-the-mill, but it's called Queen's Domain. You get it? Queen's Domain, King's Field, Queen's Domain. Yeah.
I see what you've done.
They didn't even try.
They didn't even try on this one, yeah. But I will say,
definitely not your style.
No.
looks gorgeous. Looks gorgeous. It's made by Freshly Baked Games LLC, and then published by the same company. And yeah, it's a first-person dungeon crawler, Kingsfield like. As far as the plot, you play as like some character that is on a quest to find their father, who has disappeared on the mysterious island of Nised, I think is what it's called.
I'm on a never-ending quest to save my girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. I'm on the never-ending quest to save my father. And I love this line from the description. It says, "Secrets hide everywhere, and the sleeping queen has begun to stir." I don't know. It just sounds really cool. I like it.
You know, Raph, you've brought
Yeah.
us some real dog shit looking Kingsfield likes in the past, but this
Yeah.
one looks pretty good.
It does.
No, yeah, this one is very polished. I was actually really impressed with how polished it was, and I think I found this through some channel called Dungeon Chill, I believe. They actually do like a lot of content about dungeon crawlers.
I think you have talked about that.
Yes,
channel
yeah.
before.
But yeah, I mean, the vibes in this game are just mystical and mysterious. That's like just the whole thing with it. It just, the music is incredible. I had this really great moment when I started off the game, did the little tutorial area, and then entered like the main hub area where the music kicked in, and I just couldn't help but kind of like to stop where I was at and just look around. It's like just jungles and temples, like just like old ancient ruins and temples all around, and I just had to sit there and kind of look around, take it in, and then I was like, okay, there's a guy over there, let me go talk to him.
It's very EverQuesty.
Yeah, it's got something about it. It reminds me of EverQuest or even Morrowind. Actually, it feels a little bit like Morrowind in its sort of look. I mean, it's fairly standard as far as the way it plays, but it's just dripping with atmosphere. That's the really cool thing about it.
How's the RPG elements work? You got a class system? You got a Skyrim style? What are we talking here?
So I really didn't quite understand like the leveling yet, because I played it for maybe about an hour, and I leveled up maybe once or twice, and I didn't see anywhere to actually like add points anywhere or like do your own sort of progression. You find weapons, your weapons level up, and I think maybe the build is sort of comes from your equipment.
Says use XP to level up and eat delicious food to further increase your stats.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't get any of that in the demo. That's interesting.
Did you not find any food? No ground cheese?
Did you solve the riddle of the gameplay?
Did I talk to this one NPC to like No, I did find a lot was like herbs, and herbs would like heal you. You'd use different herbs to heal you, and as far as weapons,
that's just science, Raph.
Exactly.
Herbs heal you.
You put them in the wounds,
yeah.
and then they give you a horrific
Say you've
infection.
got a wound.
Yeah.
Put herbs in it. Boom! It's better now.
Matt's a doctor now. But yeah, as far as the combat goes, it's pretty standard Kingsfield stuff. You have a regular swing. You can charge your attack to get like a bigger, heavier swing that'll do more damage. There's no block button in this game. It's what would normally be the block button is like a secondary attack that it spends all of your stamina. Because stamina management is really like the name of the game as far as the combat here. With most of these games, it's usually kind of like strafing, dodging little things that are coming at you kind of slow. The cool thing is the monster designs, man. I really dug these. There's something called a rattybug, which is like a half rat, half giant ladybug creature, which looks really cool. It's got like a bunch of eyes and shit, really creepy. Something
half
called
lady, half bug, half accountant.
Yeah, Meganura, which is a giant murderous dragonfly with a very sharp knife attached to its tail. There was one creature that I thought was really cool called the Forest Eye, and it's just a pod that grows on trees and on walls, opens up like a flower and shoots lasers at you.
Yeah,
I showed that in the video here. That thing was creepy looking.
cool.
My favorite was the Chicket.
Okay, that's okay. I about to say I'm looking at a thing that looks like it would be called a chicket.
It is a
Half
cross
chicken, half cricket.
Dude, this thing is enormous, fast, hardy, and deadly. I hate it so much.
I tell you,
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah,
I like the idea of making the enemies funny. That's good for me.
it
in
boxed
this
like
type
a
of
chicken.
game.
It boxed at you like a chicken. Just
That's
like
good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's
It's
good
very
stuff.
cool. It's very cool.
Oh my.
Oh
the
my.
music
A
too.
fish
The music
man
is where it's
and a
at.
spinning skeleton.
Oh yeah, I ran into a skeleton where I was at, and that just like kept killing me over and over again. Like skeletons are always the easiest enemies, man. Yes, I really do. At that point, it's like, what the fuck, man? What am I even
Never
doing?
underestimate the skeletons. If Dark Souls has taught me one thing,
Right.
Skeletons will fuck you up. Yeah,
Bring
yeah.
blunt weapons, and they'll or divine weapons.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and the visuals look really cool in this one. I don't know what it is about it. It's it's low poly. Like most of these games do the low poly thing.
PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 1 late life look, I guess.
There's just like
PS2, it's
maybe
pretty.
washed out sort of, I don't know how to describe it. Almost not a photo negative. I don't know what this, like a deep fried. That's the word. It's got this sort of like deep fried look to it, which is
fried.
Yeah, it's like those memes where they like turn up, they post in, I think it's called posterizing is the effect.
That's actually I think the more correct terminology for it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean this one, it looks crunchy, and I love that. Like that's just like one of my favorite looks in these kinds of games. There's no official release date for it yet, but judging from how polished it was, I'd say it's coming out at some point this year. And they had the demo is pretty extensive. It's not buggy at all. I didn't really run into any.
Depends on how much content's in there, right?
Right. Yeah, I didn't run into any real serious bugs. So yeah, I'd imagine it's probably coming out pretty soon. Yeah, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10 for sure. I'm gonna probably get it when it comes out. So yeah.
If you enjoy lumbering around a large world, barely surviving,
Yes,
with the
I love that kind of
slowest of
shit.
attack patterns,
I love it.
then you'll like another one of Raph's Kingsfield likes in Queen's Domain.
Yeah, I dug this one.
For
Check it out.
Steam, on Steam. All right. For on Steam. Hey, listen, that does it for our hot Steam. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do our What Else You Got? See you on the other side. Okay, gentlemen. It's time for our What Else You Got, the segment of our show. We can bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. Today, I have 2 video games. One is smaller than the other, so that's why I do. One is a gift that I got from the Megabuck himself, a Game Boy game, a quasi-rare Game Boy game. Say hello to Catch Rap for the Game Boy. So
I assume the cat raps in Catch Rap.
It is a port from. It's actually, I looked it up, and they're like, it is a play about how often you are trapped by a cat.
Yeah.
Cat trap.
Oh, it happens
That's
all the time.
clunkiest fucking. Just hey guys, that's the worst. Don't. Okay. So it's based off a not based off. It is a port of a 1985 game for something called the Sharp MZ 700. But this one came out in 1990. It is a puzzle platformer. It reminds me a lot of the Game Boy Donkey Kong that I am always raving about. We got a cat.
That's Evie. She's gonna go lay in her bed now while you're talking about cat rap.
So it's you play as a little cat boy or girl if you want, and it's just by level. There's like 40 levels, I want to say, or 50 levels at least so far that I've seen, and you can pick any one you want. But there's one basically mechanic to this thing. You're climbing ladders, you're falling. There's no jumping. When you press A or B, you reverse time. So that's all you can. So if you fell off somewhere where you weren't supposed to fall, you can pull yourself back through time and pull yourself back up, which is convenient for a puzzle game. I haven't used it, I haven't got to any levels in which you use the reversing time to necessarily solve the puzzle per se. I don't know.
Isn't there 100 and something levels in that game, though?
There's a lot. There are clearly a lot. But God, I was trying to remember that indie game with the reversing time, the
Braid?
2D Braid, where you have to reverse time to solve some of the puzzles in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't interacted with that yet, but it's just another late life Game Boy game where it just I'm like, is this 120 frames a second on the Game Boy? I was like, what is happening? It looks so smooth and good, and the music is really cute, and the puzzles are good. I mean, there's the first ones are really easy, but I got to I think I got to level 12 before I stopped, and by that one, it was ones where I was like, oh, I got to go this way to dig under the dirt to make the block fall, because then I'll go up on that side, and there's that guy who doesn't fall what I will, so I have to. So some good shit.
That's what I think of like Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle and stuff, where sometimes there's an order to the way that you explore the level. Yeah.
That's exactly right. The only downside is it uses a password system for its save process, so you have to. Before you stop playing, you have to go to this little option to generate password, and then I just have it written down on the back of the case. I was going
to say, at least we're in a world where you can take a picture of that with your phone.
True. That's true.
And it's not as much of a pain in the ass. Is that an S or a 5?
True, yeah. Oh. Catrap. It's called Pitman in Japan. But my bigger game of the two is, I'm going to stick with the demo theme. I played another demo, but it's for a game that already came out, so I didn't want to put it in my thing. And it's probably for a game that people played if you're listening to this. I played the demo, which is just the first 3 hours of Octopath Traveler 0.
Oh, yeah, nice. That's right, yeah.
So this is the one that, if you don't remember, they're beginning to do their bend on Suikoden 2. The game where you can recruit like a bajillion zillion people to live in your town with you.
Yeah.
Long story short, this is the same thing. You're playing as like a main character who the game starts, and you're in this idyllic town. And you have all of your friends, and I was just like, if I know Square Enix or whatever, I was like, this is about 30 minutes until everything this guy loves is gone, and that's exactly what happens.
It's on fire.
Yeah,
it's literally So his hometown gets killed. He escapes with this young girl, and then they come back.
They join the circus.
They come back as adults, and there's nothing there. Their town was literally burned to the ground, and they have made the active choice to rebuild their town. So
cool.
It is. And so there are some people in the prologues thing that you experience before your town dies that the first couple hours of the game sees you going to get them. To be like, we want to build back. I think that, oh God, I should have wrote it down. Like the name of the main town is like Hopesburg or like Wishville or something like that. I think it's Wishvale. And I was like, all right, we could have tried a little bit harder on that one, but that's fine.
On the nose.
First draft energy.
Yeah, first draft energy big time.
This game, unlike the other Octopath Traveler games, also sees you making the main character. So when the game starts, you get a very small amount of customization choices to make your little sprite guy. And then you get
to or hair B.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Literally, I was just like, man, this is really but you then get to pick a starting job, which if you're familiar, it's like those ones, all the like ones you had. But also, I should have played. Is there a merchant character in Octopath Traveler? Okay.
Yes, there's a merchant.
So it seems like they just basically took all the jobs of every character from all the Octopaths and said, like, which one do you want to be? And then all the other ones are obviously kind of set in stone, and then that's what helps build your party. But more importantly, when you get those people that are like the NPCs back to your town, just like in Suikoden 2, it does stuff to help you do better in battle in different ways. So it's like one of the first guys you find is like a guy that used to be the barkeep in the town, and you go and get him, and he can't fight for you. But what he does do is, like, every so often when you visit him, he'll give you some stone, and you can use that stone to craft, like, other, like, buildings or weapons and things like this. And then, like, there's other people that'll, like, give you herbs that you can turn into potions. And then, obviously, when you get characters that are NPCs, like, they need houses. So I unlocked a guy that's, like, a hunter. And it's like, oh, he's from the prologue, and we're like, we want you to live somewhere, and he's like, I don't have a trade, I'm like a warrior guy, so I hate. And they're like, you have to build a house for him before he can move in. But then once he does, you have the option of like, before you go, do you want to take this guy with you on whatever the fuck you're doing?
Cool. And then do you come back to your own town periodically and grow these things? Is that how it works?
Yes, precisely.
That's really
so
cool.
There is a quest to build that town, like a side quest sort of situation, and it goes sort of just like, it'll be like, first find this guy, then find that guy, and there's like your female friend is guiding you through this whole thing because her dad, wouldn't you know, was like the main architect of the town previously, so she wants to follow in her dad's footsteps. Architect is also her job class when she fights alongside you,
like
which is
calculator.
cool. Yeah, I'm sorry, carpenter,
Carpenter.
which is still like strange. But
that's funny.
Yes.
Sea of Stars actually has a system like that in that game, where you
really?
build, and it's actually one of the people that comes from like one of the first towns you go to is the mayor of this town that gets put on this island far, far away because it gets destroyed by whatever that's going on in that game.
You build that town,
And you find different members throughout the world, and they're like, you find the fishers, or you find the craftsmen or whatever else. You'd be like, hey, there's a new town that got started, they could really use some of your abilities, and you send them back to that town, and then it helps you get more things in game, unlock progression in the game.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
You have more
awesome.
stuff in the town. That's
pretty cool.
right. I remember that. Shit.
That's
Gotta
pretty
finish
cool.
that
I mean, I
game.
like that aspect of it, is why I'm bringing that up, because that's a cool way to build a full RPG.
I like that too. It's cool. On top of that, on top of the rebuilding your town part, you're also you are asked before or after the prologue, but before the game begins, when you're picking your class. In fact, you are asked what your character like desires, quote something like this. I'm paraphrasing, but and your options are money, power, or fame. And each of those three choices has a corresponding main villain. All three of which are introduced at that prologue bar. Like there's like a super rich lady, a mean military guy, and then like this very Kefka-esque, like he's a poet is what they explain. But like every time he enters a scene, everyone's like, "Oh, we fucking hate you. You're crazy and you suck." And he's got like face paint on, and he's always just like, "Ooh, I'm just looking for crazy stuff." Whatever.
I'm Kefka too.
It's really as soon as if you play it, you'll be like, "Yeah, this guy is trying to be Kefka."
Kefka
So
at
does it
home.
use the same battle system as like the other Octopaths, where there's like weaknesses?
Yeah,
of
give me
enemies?
1 second.
Oh, sorry.
I will get to that. But so depending on which of those you pick, that will decide which of the like three main quests you go down first. So you get revenge on all three of these guys. But like, for example, I
cool.
selected that my guy wants fame. And so I was pitted on a quest that was basically be like, all right, go find information on Kefka because you're going to find out where he is because he's the most famous person in the country because he's this famous poet or whatever. But yes, man, the battle system is just like, it's so addictive. Raph, have you played any of the Octopath Traveler games?
No, play Triangle Strategy, but not that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just
totally
Triangle
different.
Strategy
Yeah,
is the
that's
same
more like
thing,
tactics.
Buck?
No, that's more like tactics.
No, yeah.
Okay,
that's more
yeah,
tactics.
neither-
Yeah.
Neither does Bravely Default, which is a game that I often compare to this game. But I'm going to real quick. I know you want to jump in, but I'm going to try to explain basically when you're fighting in the turn-based combat, you get these things called battle points. I'm just going to explain the most addictive part.
Okay.
You get these things called battle points that you can add to your attacks. And when you add battle points to your base attack, it makes it to where you strike that number of times. If you use it on a skill, it'll power up the skill to like a higher level. Why would I ever want to do the basic attack more times when I can do the skill powered up? Because the main mechanic in this game revolves around breaking the guard of your enemies. And so they will be weak to one or usually more. They'll be weak to a bunch of weapons and elements, which you have to find out through trial and error.
That's part of this series. That's not
hit a
unique
guy.
to this game.
Hold on, I'm explaining it to Raph. I'm explaining it to
I'm
Raph.
sorry.
And anyone else who hasn't played this game. You strike a guy with a sword per se, and then one of these little boxes underneath his name will like bring, and it'll say weak, and it'll let you know he's weak to swords, by the way. And there'll be a little shield by his thing that say had a 4 on it, and after you hit him with a sword, boom, it drops down to 3. So there'll be moments where if you have enough battle points charged and you're about to hit someone that is weak to the item you use, you can break their guard in one turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're constantly juggling between, first of all, you have to find out what everybody's weak against. But then from there, you're going, okay, because it'll show you next turn is going to be like this. This guy's going to go, and then the enemy's going to go, and then this guy, and that. So then you have to go, okay. So can I break that guy's guard with his battle points, or do I keep battling to save up? You get one every turn, every time you do something. And it made me be like, Clear Obscure is cool and everything, but like, I like my turn-based, man. Like, I don't want to do reflex stuff. I just want to sit there and go, oh, okay, 3 battle points, 2. He's axe, sword, fire, heal. Okay, heal Fire. Oh, okay. And then like when it clicks, I'm just like, I'm a
Yeah.
brilliant strategist, man. The turn-based strategy or the turn-based
funny.
RPG is just.
I tell you
You
what,
like your
it wasn't
RPGs
this.
to be a puzzle.
I
Kind of,
do.
you know?
Yeah.
I do.
I
do.
played the first Octopath Traveler pretty much most of the way through, and so this is the same battle system as the other two Octopath Traveler games.
Okay.
From
I'll
what?
say,
Yeah.
I'll say the one con to that system that I wasn't a huge fan of is it becomes very one-dimensional. It's you're fighting this enemy. The only way to stun this enemy is to do 3 bow attacks and 2 ice attacks or whatever else. So you got to have this character or you got to have someone with that ability, which just becomes doing the same ones over and over because it's the only way to stun them and to be able to do the extra damage to it. So I guess what I'm saying is it became a little gimmicky in the game. Like I really enjoyed it at first, and then it became a little bit of I know I gotta use spears on the condors
That's what it
every
is.
time I fight
That's
them.
what it is.
Yeah.
It was like
It's
give
fun.
and a
They
take. It's a give and a take.
add the gameplay mechanic of you could break their shields and you know what I mean, but then it kind of becomes like you must break their shields.
Right. You
Yeah.
can't just
So-
muscle through any enemy. You have to hit them with the weak point.
There's like Final Fantasy IV, for example, doesn't have the shield mechanic.
Right.
And so, yes, you don't get that added layer of like, there's a moment where I have to have a discovery, you know what I mean, before we go into court. But in exchange, Final Fantasy IV is just like find the strategy, like find the timing, like,
But it
oh,
doesn't
Rydia
say he's
goes.
weak to fire.
and then
No,
he-
only fire will mess him up. Every other
Right.
thing you have is going to do like 10% damage.
Right. So give and take. That's
Yeah,
an
sure.
excellent point. That is, I could see where that would get like that.
But if-
But
yeah.
in the amount that I played, I was just like, this is good. Every character will have a couple items they can have, like a couple weapons.
I really
So
like
that
that
expands
premise.
that a little
I
bit.
really
That's
like the
nice.
idea of revisiting the town and building.
And you
the
can
town.
change
That's cool.
your character's job
Sure.
at hometown. So that makes it to where you can kind of spice things up with whoever you want to bring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fun.
Fun game. Go play the demo, and then your 3 hours of progress can carry over should you decide to buy the game, which it honestly almost convinced me to buy it. All right, Buck, what else have you got for us this week?
We have a Sunday night board game group that's been playing together for a long, long time. And one of our buddies shows up with a group holiday present for all of us. And it turned into a bunch of men in their 40s playing with Beyblades.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Whoa.
That's it.
Whoa.
He brought
Yes.
Transformers ones, so I have a Shockwave.
Oh,
Beyblade.
shit.
It's got
Let's
Shockwave on it.
fucking go.
And I learned
Incredible.
about how Beyblades have different tips on them and have different little intersectional shields on them.
Uh-huh.
They get pieced together
Uh-huh.
just by us blowing them apart by hitting each other.
Let it
That's
rip.
what we did for like an hour on Sunday night. We're like, we're adults.
Fuck
We're just,
yeah, dude.
playing with our Beyblades, right?
You know, they have Beyblades that are specifically designed that where they like when they get their first hit, they
They shoot
but they
sparks,
break
right?
apart. No, they break
Oh.
apart and make like little baby Beyblades.
I can
It's like
see
when
that
it's
now.
like when
I
a
can
giant
see that now.
spaceship launches tiny
Yeah.
spaceships to defend it.
I didn't
I
didn't know that the top of the
That's all
Beyblades are made out of metal, so that's cool. And
Yeah,
then,
man.
So we started doing like 2, 3, 4-way battles in this thing, and it was hilarious because you kept thinking they're just gonna hit. Like made me and Ben think of those Power Ranger ones that you had. When we were
Yeah,
little Power
I
Ranger
was
ones
literally
that
just going. I'm gonna bring that up if he does not
So
bring it
great.
up. Hold on, save where you are, just so you know. When Buck and I were younger, I don't know what the name of this toy was. Feel like it was made by Mattel.
It was a small
It was a
top.
spin top game as well. But we had launchers for them where you could wind it up, and when you press a button, it would launch it for you.
We're talking like 96.
And it was just like a little nub with a brass
Yeah.
pin on top, should say, like a chest pin, like a
Right.
flat one, not very big, maybe like the
That
size
had,
of a
like, the
quarter.
Green Ranger
And it would
or
have a
Gold
sticker
Armor
on
on it.
top that was then covered in epoxy as like a little replica, and it was like. The thing that the base came in like was the Power Rangers, but then like we had Street Fighter ones.
That's right.
Oh,
Do you
fuck yeah,
remember
I'd forgotten
that had
about
like
that, actually.
Chung-Li and Cammy and Ryan? And I was like, where the fuck did we get these?
knows?
What the fuck is happening?
But-
so I would make Goldar fight Ryu. Continue.
well, we were making Shockwave and Bumblebee beat the shit out of Optimus
Fucking
Prime.
rocks,
we
dude.
were like,
Oh,
we just
man.
dropped them in. Well, how exciting could this be? And every time they'd clash, one would get knocked out of the ring, one would go to the top of the ring, and we thought he was out, and then he'd come back down, and we'd start yelling like wrestling moves, like, he's off the turnbuckle, he's on the he's got the man on the ropes. One time, one of ours actually popped out because the arena has like a little dome over it, right? So you have to drop them in. And there's little cubbies around it. One time, one of them like got knocked out of the arena by another one into the side, and the other two were fighting, and it was spinning so fast in the side cubby, it decided to just bounce back in the ring again.
Cool.
And they started and they kept fighting and shit. I'm like, this should not be this much.
Beyblade.
I bring this up because I'm well aware of the fact that at MagFest there are hallway Beyblade, impromptu Beyblade fights.
Fuck.
That's
you
great.
have to.
I brought a Beyblade last year and I left it in my pocket in the box. I'm like, if I come across some Beyblade players, I'm going to pull it out and we're going to rip it and they're going to teach me how to play. And I never saw them all weekend. And I remember afterwards they were like, dude, we were set up in the lobby for like 6 hours on Friday. Why didn't you see us? And I'm like, I don't know. But I got a Beyblade and an extra Beyblade to make a friend to Beyblade.
There is strategy involved in the assembling of your Beyblade.
These other pieces. We learned that the little nubs can be different shapes and sizes on here.
Yeah, dude.
We learned that some Beyblades are made to spin counterclockwise and not clockwise.
What the fuck?
Right?
It's like sometimes it's like if you make a heavier Beyblade, it's harder to get knocked over, but it can't spin for as long,
this
right?
One has
so
a flat
it's just
bottom here. But then there are other ones that have like a rounded tip bottom. There's other ones that have a smaller bottom, and there's these little teeth on the side. If you look at a Beyblade arena, there's these toothed curves that go around the side of the arena on two sides. And if this thing catches that and goes, it fucking picks up more momentum and will just destroy other ones that it runs in. Fucking hilarious. We learned
if you have a Beyblade that's wider and has like forked tongs, then it can strike, but then its center of gravity is thrown out to the edges, and so it doesn't spin for as long.
I know, it's magical.
I think that was Sun Tzu that said that, right?
Just a bunch of men in their late 30s.
Sun Tzu once
40s.
said, "Let it rip." Yeah.
Nothing like cracking open a cold one.
That was really good. I'm glad I got to talk about that today.
So funny.
On this day, the year of our Lord 2025 still.
Almost
God.
That's magical, right?
I hope in 2 weeks I come back and you'd be like, I got hella into Beyblade and we do it every week, unironically.
Are you kidding me? We played for like an hour, then we played the new Betrayal Pennywise, and then we played like another 30 minutes of Beyblade. That's what we did on Sunday.
I'm so fucking happy.
I have one more amazing. What
All
else
right, make it quick. Yeah,
that came in. Oh, that's gonna be
it's
hard.
amazing.
Came in the mail. Yes.
More amazing than Beyblades? Are you sure?
Oh, shit.
Right,
Okay, that is
all
amazing.
right.
No, he's
It's
right.
a special
he's right.
edition for Blueprints. He's got all the stuff. God damn it. All right.
Commissary edition of Blueprints.
Holy shit, it's got a
Wow.
bunch of good stuff.
And a replica of the Underground key and a full
get that
replica
far.
of the Red Prince book.
Wow. Are you going to open any of it?
You know, so inside of this one is a random key to the house. So I'd probably like to open that one because this is an exclusive to the commissary bundle. You can buy these separately. This just came with one of those.
Okay.
I just want to point out how there's a new cool sleeve jacket on this for the game. It's like got a cool paper because this is a physical PS5 copy. But I wanted to point out something really cool that I've shown off before. Here's the book that they give you with this commissary bundle. It's this beautiful blue notebook, right, with a little leaflet things on the top, everything else. Here's the book that I use to play Blueprints.
I don't know how many moleskin factories, if you're trying to make some sort of, they probably bought it from the same place. I assume.
Right, yeah.
The significance of the red versus the blue.
Yes.
Game,
We've gone over this before.
But how cool is that? It's a pretty cool.
Yes,
and now I need someone.
Yes.
Now I need someone on like Etsy to make a cool way to display this because I was a little bummed it didn't come in like a bigger box to display it on the shelf.
Because you don't need it. You already beat it. You don't need to write anything down. You're good.
No, I mean to display all these things. I wanted.
No, that's what I'm saying. You need to
yeah.
display it because you're not going to use it. You have no point in
I have to
using
display
it.
them all in pieces. I don't have like a nice box that they came in to display them.
Fantastic.
That's cool, huh?
Raph, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
Well, it was just Christmas, guys, and I went down to Miami, saw my family, spent some time down there, and I went to a really cool place called Arcade Time in Miami. It was an arcade. I didn't even know it existed, but it's if you're familiar with the Miami area, it's in the Falls Mall. I haven't been to them all in forever, and that was also a really fun experience. I got drunk at the arcade and ended up wandering around the mall with a friend of mine, and we ended up buying T-shirts of PacSun, which we
Fuck yeah.
were making fun
Raph,
of the entire time.
Fuck yes, dude.
That's the same. That's the same chain that I went to last night for our buddy's birthday party.
Really?
They have one
Arcade
on
time?
iDrive.
Oh,
Yeah,
no way.
they
No
have one on
shit. I
iDrive.
had never heard of it before. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know this was
You're
here.
saying that name, and I'm like, why does that sound familiar?
It was fucking cool, man. They had a bunch of cabinets that I'd never seen before. They had a bunch of pinball machines. I got to play a Godzilla pinball machine, which is really cool. But yeah, in my trip to Miami, I got a few things, as you know, Christmas stuff. And so my nephew got this for me. And I don't know, man. I've never heard of this one. Maybe, Buck, you might have, and you can kind of enlighten me on it. But he got me this Pokemon game for the DS. Let me see if you can see that on there at all. Now, it's kind of bright. It's Pokemon Omega Ruby.
Oh,
I've never heard of this one.
Ruby.
What's
It's
up?
just a remake of Ruby.
It's a remake
They
of
remade
Ruby.
Ruby and Sapphire.
Okay, never heard of it, but you know, I haven't played
Just like
a
they
Pokemon
remade-
game.
They did Soul Silver, and they did those. They remade Silver and Gold.
I
They
see.
remade Ruby and Sapphire.
Okay, all right, cool. I've never even heard of this one, but yeah, it's I haven't played a Pokemon game since I want to say Silver, or Gold, so I might fuck around with this.
Cool.
Very excited about that.
Pokemon rock.
Yeah, that was like
The
the next
classic
generation
Pokemon
too,
kick-ass.
because Silver and Gold would have been on Game Boy Color. Those were on GBA.
Right.
Ruby.
Okay,
and
yeah, because
Sapphire.
I don't even know what to expect with this one. I have no idea what it looks like. I haven't looked it up yet. I
It's
just
good
kind of
shit.
got it recently,
Right.
so I'm excited to play
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The other thing I picked up, got Final Fantasy Tactics. Ivalice
Tic
Chronicles,
Tac.
dude.
baby.
Ivalice Chronicles. Dude, holy shit. I've started playing this the other night.
Menu.
The intro, like the way they redid the intro with the hand drawn animation, but it's like 3D animation that's made to
like
look like
sketch,
hand drawn
though.
animation,
Yeah.
but it looks so fucking beautiful. I had
Yes.
goosebumps playing it. I was just like, oh my god, dude, I'm so fucking happy I got this.
You had played it before, or was it your first time?
I have Tactics on the PS2. But this remaster
PS1,
I haven't. Yeah, I'm sorry, PS1. Yeah, I have the PS1 here somewhere, or PS1.
Have you ever dipped
version
into
of
it? Is
Yeah,
what I'm asking?
yeah. I've,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I've played it before. This is just so much more polished and like beautiful looking. It just
Yeah.
it looks really great. Plays the same. The voice acting I thought was cool. I really liked that. I liked having all the characters doing actually voice acted lines. But yeah, that's what I got. Final
yeah,
Fantasy
Christmas.
Tactics and a new Pokemon game.
Fuck yeah, Christmas. Well, hey, listen, that does it for another episode of the Game Treasure Podcast. You have reached the end. Thank you so much for listening or watching, dear listener or watcher. Do us a huge favor, like and subscribe, right? Tell your friends, share. That would be helpful. If you are just listening to this on your favorite podcasting app, may I suggest that you do go to our YouTube to like us and subscribe to us there.
See our faces.
Because that's kind of where we live, all right? That's where we do live streams on the weekends. You can catch that. I have been playing Pokemon, speaking of which, because Baldur's Gate is on hold. Raph does his scary games on Sundays. Go to our YouTube channel. You can reach out to us with any video games or comments, questions you might have for us. I'll read a question you have on the show. We've done it before. Write us a question that you think they wouldn't read that question. I bet to you I'll read it and I'll think of something funny to say. GameTreasurePodcast@gmail.com. Head over to our link tree. It's you can find that on our bio and Spotify and on YouTube, but it's linktree/the GTP, where you can get to our merch store and you can get to our Patreon, where you can support us for just $5 a month and get some access to some cool bonus content. Linktree/the GTP. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find their music on Apple, Spotify, fucking tin can with string attached to other tin can, pretty much everywhere that there's music. And last but not least, we got to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, sponsor of the Retro Zone, owned and operated by the Megabuck himself. RetroGameTreasure.com is a subscription service that sends you customized boxes of retro video games that are in coordination with your collection. So whether you've started a collection already or you are just starting your collection for the first time, you let Buck know what video game consoles you have, and what types of video games you like to play. And then those customized boxes will be filled with only those games that meet those criterias every single month. A little box of nostalgia and joy. The easiest way to grow your retro game collection. So start collecting retro games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. That does it for this week's show. Until next week, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It is so bad.
It's